The following is a presentation of the Ad Astra Sports Network. Coming up, coverage of McPherson Bullpup football on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP. Bullpup football is streaming online at adastraradio.com and on the Ad Astra radio app. Coming up on the Midway Motors Drive to the Game. We'll break down tonight's matchup and preview other key games on the Ad Astra Sports Network. Tonight's kickoff is just 30 minutes away.
At Midway Motors, we are here for you for every mile of life. Whether you're shopping for a new or used vehicle or selling one, Midway Motors will buy your vehicle even if you're not in the market to buy one of ours. Just stop by one of our 5 locations and one of our appraisers will evaluate your vehicle and you can leave with a check the same day. It's fast and easy. Visit MidwayMotors.com for more information. Midway Motors, for every mile of life.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Good afternoon and happy Friday. Welcome into Towanda, where we give you coverage of McPherson High School football. Today, it's a little bit toasty down in southern Kansas, but things are definitely heating up when it comes to the high school football season. It's the league opener for the Bullpups as they're on the road against the Thunderbirds of Circle High School. Thank you for tuning in to 98.9, 1540 KMCP, adastraradio.com, listening live on the Ad Astra Radio mobile app, and for watching live on Ad Astra TV. With alongside Nathan Roble, with studio engineer Sherry Bruce and live stream coordinator Jeremy Snap, I'm Lane Gillespie. The Bullpups suffered a tough loss a week ago against a extremely good 5A team in the Great Bend Panthers, losing 42-7. But there were a lot of positives to take from that game as McPherson did outrun Great Bend. They outgained Great Bend on the field by about 20 yards, I guess I would say. Meanwhile, for Circle, they come in 1-0 after a blowout victory against Coffeyville Kinley on the road 55-8 after having 300 yards on the ground. So both of these teams are coming in, McPherson trying to turn things around and get into the win column, not just for the season, but to start off league play. For Circle, it's a chance to make a statement. While, yes, they are 1-0 and they blew out a team, they have never defeated McPherson before, and they're looking to turn things around after suffering a 2-touchdown loss against the Bullpups this time last year.
Yeah, absolutely. They came out in their first game and really kind of put a hurting on Coffeyville Field Kinley, and I expect Franklin Aquay and Jason Smith to really be a big factor in tonight's game. Aquay is an amazing running back, and this team is going to run right through them. I'd expect them to run the football a lot tonight and really try to slow this game down and slow this high-pace offense down of the Bullpups.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll talk more about that coming up, but first we're going to meet with Mark Heidebrecht to give you the history. While I may have spoiled it a little bit, he'll go a little bit more in-depth on the history between the Bullpups and the Thunderbirds. Well, thank you for tuning in to high school football. We got more coming up next. You are listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
More of the Midway Motors Drive to the Game coming up. Find exclusive Bullpup content online at adastraradio.com, including schedules, stories, and game day audio. McPherson Bullpup football on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Have you been injured in an accident? At Pyle Law, Tom takes the time to evaluate your personal injury case and fight for the compensation you deserve. Whether it's medical bills, lost wages, or pain and suffering, Tom Pyle understands the challenges you're facing and works tirelessly to help you get back on your feet. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Call Pyle Law at 620-241-9000 for your free consultation today. Because at Pyle Law, Tom takes the time to fight for you.
Whether you want a small home remodel or need repairs done or have a brand new build project in mind, Erickson Custom Building is your choice. All of us at Erickson Custom Building would like to thank our customers for 20 years of business and friendship. Brian and the crew at Erickson have spent those years developing excellent customer service and quality leadership for all types of projects, big or small, traditional or trendy. When your project is finished, it will reflect your vision for quality and follow-through that exceeds your expectations, not your budget. Call Erickson Custom Building or find us on the web at ericksoncustomBLDG.com.
This is Darren Eddy with Ag 360 Insurance in Inman. For years, we've been known for our great service with our ag customers. But did you know we can handle your family or small business insurance needs as well? We would love an opportunity to sit down and visit with you about what we can do for you. As an independent agency, we can shop different coverage options for you. Stop by our office on Old K61 in Inman or give Cody Moores or myself a call today at 620-585-2128 or check us out online at ag360insurance.com.
Get ready to fill the bucket and save, only at Prairieland Partners John Deere. Get a 5-gallon bucket for just $3, and everything you pack inside is 15% off. Stock up on the essentials like cleaners, grease, fluids, adhesives, paint, hand tools, and more. Don't miss your chance to save on parts you use every day. Stop by your local Prairieland Partners to fill your bucket and save. Offer ends September 30th, 2025. Some restrictions apply.
Prairieland Partners. Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome back to the Midway Motors Drive to the Game as we preview McPherson High School football against the Circle Thunderbirds on the road. It's that time now to give you the series history between these two league foes, the Bullpups and the Circle Thunderbirds. And with that, we welcome Mark Heidebrecht, our Bullpup historian, to help give us that history. Last year, it was in favor for McPherson, or in that game, I should say. But what does the overall series suggest?
The series suggests that we dominate right now. We're 10-0 all time against Circle. This is a series that started relatively recently in 2016. And, of course, we played Circle last year in McPherson, winning 28-14. 10 games in this series ranks 28th out of 55 opponents we've played since 1920, so kind of Midland there. Our home record's 6-0 and our away record's 4-0. Offensive averages, McPherson's averaged 43.2 points per game against Circle, and Circle has averaged 9.8 points per game, so pretty out of balance there. Average winning margin, 33.4 points per game for McPherson. Obviously, we have a 10-game active winning streak against the Circle Thunderbirds. Highest scores in the series, McPherson scored 62 points on September 29th, 2017 in Towanda for a 62-7 win. Circle scored 28 points on November 11th, 2022 in McPherson for a 28-49 loss. Highest winning margin in the series was 55 points by McPherson on September 29th, 2017 in Towanda by the score of 62-7. Coach Pav is 10-0 versus Circle, and about the only thing else I can highlight is a couple of games in the past that were notable, and we've talked about it already. On September 29th, 2017, McPherson played Circle in Towanda and won by a score of 62-7. In the first half alone, McPherson scored 62 points and had 415 yards of total offense. Jace Kenneman, the bus, scored 4 touchdowns in the first half, and the MHS defense held Circle to just 52 yards of offense. Now, 62 points in one half sounds pretty good,
right? But
that was not the most points and a half McPherson has scored. Actually, McPherson scored 70 points in the first half against Abilene on September 29th, 2020. So, and then went on to win by a score of 78-14. So 70 points and a half just seems ridiculous.
Yeah, we did kind of see it last week. One of the new schools that Ad Astra Radio picked up was Andale.
Yeah.
They won 104-0, but I want to say they had 76 in the first half, but then they still poured it on and got triple digits.
Yeah, that's pretty out of whack.
But I will say today, they face a, by the media, ranked 4A team in Wellington. So that's going to be a fun matchup to keep an eye on, and we'll definitely keep an eye on that today. So
I'd put my money on Andale personally.
Yeah, me too. But
it's such a tradition.
For sure.
They're not going to bend.
Well, Mark, once again, thank you for taking the time, and we will see you this time next week to get the history for the next Bullpup opponent, which will be Chanute. So we will have that for you this time next week. Mark, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
That's Mark Heidebrecht. We'll preview more coming up next. This is Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Controlling your own weather can be easier than controlling anything else these days. This is Julie with RC Heating and Cooling. With a well-working cooling and heating system, you can be in control of your indoor weather at home. With so many things out of our hands, it's a good feeling to have a bit of stability. Call RC for a free estimate on new cooling and heating equipment. Call RC when your unit isn't up to par. Call RC to stay comfortable in any weather. Call RC 241-2787.
Life's better when you're under our roof because our agents can help you choose insurance to help protect what matters most. Life insurance from American Family Life Insurance Company can help financially protect your loved ones by replacing a portion of your income if you were to pass away. That means your family can have the help they need to continue to pursue their dreams.
Visit your local American Family Insurance agent, Steve Barr, at 807 North Main, McPherson.
Products not available in all states. American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
American Family Insurance.
At Great Plains Federal Credit Union, we believe in banking that puts people first. Whether you're saving for the future or in need of a loan today, we're here to help you with friendly service and personalized support. Visit us in McPherson, Salina, Abilene, or Hillsborough and see why more Kansans are choosing Great Plains Federal Credit Union, where you're more than just an account number. Great Plains Federal Credit Union in McPherson, member NCUA.
Most people know you have to change the engine oil regularly, but did you know that there are at least 4 other fluids that need serviced at regular intervals? These include transmission, power steering, brake, transfer cases, and more. Even hybrids require regular maintenance to maximize fuel economy and reduce costly repair bills. Come see the professional service team at Jarrett Automotive to make sure your car is in tip-top condition.
When it's time to give your car some care, come to Jar. We'll see you there.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome back to Towanda as we continue the Midway Motors drive to the game as the McPherson Bullpups take on the Circle Thunderbirds to start league play here on a warm, sunny Friday evening. A very, very stark contrast from what we saw a week ago today when it was 50 degrees outside. When we were in Great Bend, it was a little bit towards the end of a rain, I wouldn't say a rainstorm, but some rain showers. Today, not a cloud in the sky. Sun is beaming down on us here on the press box on the east side, and we're facing towards the west. And it's about mid to upper 80s here in Towanda. So back to this pregame coverage. McPherson comes in 0-1 after losing to Great Bend. Circle 1-0 after defeating Coffeyville Field Kinley. But there's a lot of guys to watch out for both of these teams. We'll go ahead and give you the ones to watch. And Nathan, we'll have you tell us who's to watch for the Bullpups.
Yeah, I really think this game's going to start up front, and I think it's going to be running the football. So my ones to watch, it's pretty much the entire offensive line. Dylan Hall at left tackle, Jace Gunn, Braxton Burgess, Creighton Bird, and McCoy Berggren are going to be the ones to watch up front, and let's see what they get done in the trenches. And if they can have success, they got to push last week against Great Bend. If they can have success, watch out for Dane Becker and Brody Millison in the backfield, picking up chunk yards.
Yeah, the run offense went pretty well, 157 yards on the ground in total a week ago, including Dane Becker getting past the century mark for the first time in his career with 103 yards. And as for Circle, there are definitely a couple of guys to watch for it. It's in their run game as well. Last week they had 304 total rushing yards. 147 of those were from a transfer from Wichita Northwest and a first-year Thunderbird, Franklin Akwe. He was a second-team All-League linebacker when he was at Wichita Northwest last year, but only had 20 carries throughout the entire season. Last week he had 13 carries, and he picked up a pair of rushing touchdowns as well as a punt return for a touchdown. He's a speedster to watch out for. But same for quarterback Mason Stobart. He threw for 128 yards on just 8 completions for 2 touchdowns. And then receivers, Dominic Sawyer, who had 80 yards for a touchdown a season ago on 3 catches. For them, it could also be the front line as well on both offense and defense. Easton Beardsley, Cooper McGaha, guys to watch out for on the D-line. Beardsley up front. They only had a tackle a week ago, but a lot of that was, well, because they didn't play much in the second half after they were already up by a lot against the Golden Tornadoes. But they are pretty darn good on the front line. And as you mentioned, Nathan, the O-line for McPherson, they got to bring their A game today.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a fun game, and now that we've talked about the running game, guess what? it's going to be a passing football game.
I know, right?
I just have a feeling.
Well, hey, it should be a fun one on a warm, windy day in Towanda. Coming up after this, we'll talk with head coach Jace Pavlovich as we continue the Midway Motors drive to the game. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
The Midway Motors drive to the game continues after this. Midway Motors in McPherson, Newton, Hutchinson, and Hillsboro for every mile of life. Stay tuned as we sit down for a pregame chat with head coach Jace Pavlovich.
With all the financial headlines, are you wondering if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Derek Bergen. If you have more questions than answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by our office at 421 North Main Street, McPherson, or give us a call at 620-242-1480. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
If you're changing jobs or considering early retirement, you may be wondering what to do with your 401k. Before taking any action, make sure you know the rules, as mistakes can be costly. At Iron Horse Financial, we can show you how to avoid IRS penalties and full taxation, plus a little-known strategy to access funds early. For more info, go to 401krollovermistakes.com and download your free guide. You can also reach us at 620-765-6456.
Welcome back to the Midway Motors drive to the game as we continue pregame coverage for Bullpup football as they're on the road against Circle. It's time now to hear from head coach Jace Pavlovich for the McPherson Bullpups. Now, Coach, first of all, to start off, obviously a tough loss last week against Great Bend, but we mentioned it time and again in that matchup, and then also you mentioned in the post game, that Great Bend team is a really, really good team, but you also had some really positive takeaways from that loss as well.
Yeah, we did. We played well on both sides of the ball, but in particular, what I was most proud of, especially after watching the film on Saturday morning, is how physical we were up front offensively. It's not something that we're necessarily proud of, but we haven't had a 100-yard rusher in 13 games, and so. To be able to get that done against a team that's ranked in 5A is pretty encouraging. Our offensive line play has been tremendous through the course of the week. This week, they're really getting after it with a sense of urgency. So, saw a lot of good things, on the offensive line. Our quarterback play for Carter's first start in a pretty crazy environment against a really good team. I felt like Bankston had one heck of a good game. And defensively, we're playing well. We're fast. We had a couple chances to get some turnovers with interceptions and didn't quite come up with them. But our guys are in the right spots and they're flying around. So there were a lot of good things that we took away from that film. And it's just. Excuse me, it's the same old adage. It's never as good as you think it was or as bad as you think it was. And when you get on the film and watch, and our guys did some really good things, something to be proud of. But we've got to prove that tonight.
What have sort of been some things you want cleaned up that you focused on in practice this week?
Well, again, it's the same thing that we battled this summer is inconsistency. Whether it's offense, defense, or special teams, we look really good on one play and then we don't on the next. So more than anything else, it's just the general consistency of play that is what we need, because we know we can do it. We've done it, but we got to do it again and again and again to be the team that we need to be.
For sure. Well, you start off league play, and I think we talked about, just before we start talking about the upcoming opponent, we've talked about a lot during the offseason and then into the early part of this season. This is probably the toughest that the league has looked in quite a while, because it seems that the ceiling is so high and there really isn't much of a floor when it comes to this league.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of parity in the league, and every team is good. It used to be where, you can have some gimmies on your schedule that you're going to go out there and get a win, despite how you execute. But that's not the case anymore. Everyone's getting better, and and honestly, that's just exactly the way we want it. So, yeah, each and every week you're going to have to go out and play well to get a win. And you've heard it from Coach Kleiman and some of his post-game pressers, but winning football games is very difficult. And I hope that people do understand that. But we're fully capable of doing it. We just have to go out and execute, as I said before, in a consistent fashion.
Well, you start off tonight against Circle on the road, and they got a blowout win last week against Coffeyville Field Kinley in a game that they had about 300 yards rushing. So how do you get a win tonight against the Thunderbirds?
Well, we have to control the line of scrimmage again. They have a transfer tailback that came in from Wichita Northwest. I believe he was their backup, and he's a senior, and he wanted to play, so apparently he transferred in. So he's a pretty special player, but up front, they're very well coached. They take the proper steps, and they get locked up on somebody. Now, they don't have the size that we saw last week in Great Bend, but they execute very well in their running game. And then their quarterback play is very good. He was good last year as a junior. He's really taken off this year as a senior, and he's got some really potent weapons, in the receiving corps. So this is a Circle team. They went up to the Mill Valley tournament and won it 7-on-7 this summer. So we know that they're skilled on the back end as well. We're like I said, we're up for a tough task again this week, but that's exactly the way we want it.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely will be a fun one as well. So, Coach, thanks for taking the time. Wish you the best of luck.
Great. Thank you, sir.
That's head coach Jace Pavlovich for the McPherson Bullpups. We'll preview more coming up next. This is Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
We've got more of the Midway Motors Drive to the Game coming up. Midway Motors in McPherson, Newton, Hutchinson, and Hillsboro for every mile of life. 98.9 and 1540 KMCP. The McPherson Bullpups play here.
Nestled in the beautiful community of Lindsborg, you'll find assisted living at its finest at Sunflower Terrace by Bethany Village. Whether you seek full independence, freedom from cooking, or just a little day-to-day assistance, Sunflower Terrace is a place you can feel at home.
Definitely come to Sunflower Terrace. Get a tour, come and look. And it was very easy, and so it was perfect.
Get your free guide today at sunflowerterrace.com.
Bullpup Football on KMCP.
We're just minutes away from kickoff between the McPherson Bullpups and the Circle Thunderbirds, as the Thunderbirds are about to make their way onto the field, as you may hear the cheering in the background with both teams making their way onto the turf here in Towanda. And before we continue the festivities of pregame and before we get to kickoff, it's now time to give you the starting lineups brought to you by Ag 360 Insurance. On the offensive end, who should we look out for to start off, Nathan, for Circle?
Yeah, I think first off it starts off with the quarterback, number 1, Mason Stobart, and then the two running backs, Franklin Ekwe and Jason Smith, are going to be their two starters in the backfield. The wide receivers are as follows: Brody Jansen, Rocky Cosby, and Jay Bonowitz. All three are going to have a big key in this one as well. Also, honorable mention to Dominic Sawyer. He's going to get a lot of action here tonight as well. The tight end is Boston Avery, and we talked about the offensive line earlier.
Yeah, for sure. And for McPherson on offense, it's going to be the same guys as last week. This quarterback, it's going to start with the junior number 5, Carter Bankson, and then running backs Dane Becker, Brody Millison. On the wide receiver front, it'll be Ashton Malm, who's coming off of a 60-yard week last week, including a 44-yard touchdown that he had in the second quarter. Also behind him, Isaac Puhala and Paxton Ingalls to start off for the McPherson Bullpups. The starting tight end is Bo Barkley. On the special teams, guys to watch for: Jackson Hoover, the kicker and the punter, and then Ashton Malm and Aaron Winter as the kick returners. On the defensive side of the ball, who should we look out for McPherson?
Yeah, up front, Isaac Puhala, Carter Leathers, Dylan Hall, and Jaron Stutzman are the defensive line. You got your linebackers, Matt Berger, Chase Lowry, and Nolan Piercy in the defensive backfield. At cornerback, Keaton Crane and Aaron Winter, and the two safeties, Carter Busker and Dakota Lynn.
And then for the Circle Thunderbirds up front, and they go with a kind of a 3-3-5 time and again as we hear Circle take the field from the near side to the far side. Katerick Corky is the starting defensive lineman. He is a 6'2", 240-pound senior. There's also Easton Beardsley up front and Cooper McGaha. The linebacker crew is Jay Bonowitz, Boston Avery, Trevor Stewart, and Eamon Oliver. And in the secondary, the two corners, Bodie Jansen and Dominic Sawyer. The two safeties, Gabe Duncan and Jason Smith. The McPherson Bullpups are coached by Jace Pavlovich in his 11th season as the head coach of the McPherson Bullpups, the 20th in his the 20th year in the program in his career, as he spent 9 years as a defensive coordinator under Tom Young. And Jace Pavlovich is the longest tenured and the winningest coach in McPherson Bullpup football history. The Circle Thunderbirds are headed by Logan Clothier, who is a 9th-year head coach, only a win-loss record of 24-50, but I'm sure he's going to look to turn it around after the terrific win that he had by this time last week. He grew up actually in my neck of the woods where I grew up in Topeka. He's a Topeka native, was a former Topeka High Trojan, All-League, All-State, and also was a former wide receiver at Emporia State University until 2015, and then he got his start here as a head coach, but he is also married to a former McPherson High School girls basketball assistant coach and player, Caitlin Clothier. She resides here in Cody Moore's in Inman. Kickoff is just a few minutes away. We'll be back after this to bring you the start of league play for the McPherson Bullpups. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
More of the Midway Motors Drive to the Game coming up. Find exclusive stories highlighting Bullpup athletics at adastraradio.com. The McPherson Bullpups play on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
This is Leah Amdahl from Farmers Alliance and proud mom of Bullpup number 58. After living in several different places prior to settling in McPherson, our family truly appreciates the feeling of community we found here. Being a part of Farmers Alliance crew also fills me with pride as we root for our local community, students, and coaches, both in the game and beyond. While you hustle for that victory, we're on the sidelines safeguarding our customers. At Farmers Alliance, we're thrilled to be a part of this fantastic community, and we can't wait to cheer on all our local teams to success.
Get back to doing what you love with Advanced Physical Therapy in McPherson. Whether you're recovering from injury, surgery, or just want to move with less pain, their expert team is here to help. Call or stop by Advanced Physical Therapy in McPherson today.
Do you need custom shirts, hoodies, polos, or other apparel printed? Whether it's for your sports team, business, or church, 37 Print Co. in Hutch has you covered. Hi, I'm Amanda. Check out our work on Facebook, 37 Print Co. We print shirts.
Ready to travel but worried about poor coverage? With Nextech Wireless, you get the best service wherever you are. We may be Kansas-based, but you still get coverage nationwide. So, go out and explore knowing that we have you covered. And for a limited time, get the Google Pixel 9 Pro or Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus and a Google Pixel Watch 3 on us. Nextech Wireless, connecting Kansans.
At Farmer State Bank, we have a lot more than money invested in this community. We've invested our time, our interest, our heritage. If you're looking for financial advice or the best rates, Farmer State Bank is ready to help you grow your business, and that will help this community grow as well. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
For the perfect Little Debbie limited time sip, stop by your locally owned Scooter's Coffee to enjoy an oatmeal cream pie latte, topped with a soft mini oatmeal cookie from our bakery. Scooter's Coffee, amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast.
Scooter's Coffee in Hutchinson, McPherson, Salina, and Abilene.
Bullpup Football on KMCP.
We're just minutes away from kickoff between the McPherson Bullpups and the Circle Thunderbirds as the coin toss is going on at midfield as we speak. Onto the green turf on the blue and yellow colored Thunderbird. McPherson's captains there, and the rest of the team will be in their road whites. White jerseys, white pants, red lettering and numbering on the front and back with the white Bullpup helmets as well, spelling pups on the right side and giving their numbers on the left side in red. Circle High School, bless their hearts in this heat and in the sun, in their black uniforms, black jerseys and black pants with, I believe that is black lettering and numbering with a yellow outline on the front and back. That's going to be a bit of a nightmare tonight. and blue helmets as well with the white cleats and white socks for most of the players. Those uniforms are brought to you by McPherson Laundry and Dry Cleaners. It's where to take your clothes. Well, both teams now exchanging pleasantries at midfield after the opening coin toss. I couldn't quite catch the results. So, Nathan.
Bullpups win the toss. They elect to defer, and the Thunderbirds will take the ball to start the game.
Well, that sounds good. Last week, what we saw was Great Bend win and defer. That ended in a pick 6 on McPherson's first offensive drive. Maybe things will turn around here as McPherson will be on defense to start off. And here for league play. Last year, McPherson finished 3-2 in league play. Their 2 league losses were against Buhler and Mulvane. Circle finished 5th at 1-4 in league play last season. When these two teams met a season ago, McPherson won by a final score of 28-14. That was one where McPherson actually led 28-7. Circle tried to mount the comeback, but they just fell short. Now, correction, the numbers that Circle has on are in blue with a yellow lettering and numbering. It's a little hard to see with the sun. It is shining right in our face, but thankfully sunset will be in about 20 to 30 minutes, so it'll be a lot easier to see the field in that regard as well. If you're watching on the video live stream, you're probably catching some of that glare. We feel your pain, and we're seeing exactly that as well. McPherson's kickoff team is on the field. They will kick from left to right as we view the turf in Towanda. Circle will go vice versa. Jackson Hoover is still huddled up with the other 10 on the kickoff team. The referee gets away from the ball, goes to the near side as the ball is placed on the lime green tee. Hoover putting his hand up, and the whistle now starts, and they will break the huddle. We are officially ready for football here in Towanda. Hoover steps to the left, getting ready to kick the ball. Adjusts his pads, puts his right arm up, now down, and the kick is away. A low line drive, side over side kick. Arms out from the returners into the end zone for a touchback. That's a sophomore, remember, who's got one heck of a leg, and he'll make them start at their own 20-yard line to start off this game. First down and 10 for Circle.
Yeah, Circle comes onto the field. The Thunderbirds on offense. They're going to be led by their quarterback, Mason Stobart. Last week, 8 of 10 passing, 128 yards, had 2 touchdowns in the air. But watch out for Franklin Aquay.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be a little hard to see the numbers again with the sun in our face. Hopefully our eyes will adjust as it goes on. But they're in the pistol formation. Believe it's Aquay in the backfield. No time came off after the touchback. So now they get set to go in motion from left to right. Now it'll be a play action, roll out to the far side. Stobart fires on the run, caught across the 30 for a first down, and wrestled down at the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 13 on the first play of scrimmage, and that was complete, I believe, by Gabe Duncan, but either way, first down for Circle.
Yeah, what a great way to start for Circle. The Bullpups defense was expecting the run early, especially first play of the game. That time they took advantage of it, went play action pass, found a crosser over the middle, and completed it for 13 yards and a first down.
First down and 10, pistol. They work quickly. This time, handoff near side of Quay. Undercut, down he goes in the backfield. It's a tackle for loss for the Bullpup front line. Nolan Piercy, the linebacker, gets him on a loss of 3.
Yeah, with Aquay in the backfield, Nolan Piercy, Matt Berger, and Chase Lowry are going to be huge in that linebacking core. Nolan Piercy had a great game last week at Great Bend. This time, I expect him to be huge.
Shotgun formation now, second down and 13. 3-step drop, Stobart fires to the right side. It's knocked away and incomplete. Good job knocking it down with the left hand by Matt Berger, as you just talked about, Nathan. He's a guy to watch out for on the linebacker front. 3rd and 13 coming up for the T-Birds.
Yeah, especially when the Bullpups go into his own defense. That flat zone is going to be covered by the Will linebacker, Matt Berger. Excellent job by Berger to have good eye discipline and make sure to break up that pass.
1 minute in, no score, 3rd down and 13 for the Thunderbirds. They got a first down on their very first play for a 13-yard pass. This time they're behind the 8 ball. Low snap, Stobart looks to fire to the right, 3-step drop. It is caught across the 43. He put a knee down as he tried to cut up field. They'll mark him at the 42-yard line, which is a yard short of the sticks. It'll be 4th down and short coming up. Eamon Oliver with the catch.
Yeah, one of the things that I remember now about Mason Stobart, he's got a great arm. He's got an absolute cannon back there and can get the football out 15, 16 yards down the field. Last week, their average reception was 16.7 yards. So watch out for this intermediate to deep area of the field.
Well, 4th down and 1. The offense staying on the field. They're at their own 42-yard line. They'll work in a shotgun on the right hash. 2 lined up wide near side, 1 far with a fullback. It'll be a handoff to Aquay up the middle, lowers the head. He's got a first down. O-line trying to push him forward as he gets past the 45 to the 47. He needed 1. He got 5. 1st and 10, circle.
Yeah, when in doubt, 4th and 1, give it to your best running back. Franklin Aquay picks up 5 yards and a big first down. He's a strong running back after just that one run.
He averaged over 10 yards a carry last week. 2 minutes in, no score. First possession of the game for Circle. Touch pass across the middle, going from the right to the left, cutting up field. He's across midfield, and he's got an opening on the near side. 1 man to beat after a couple of broken tackles at the 10-5. Bodie Jansen to the house. Touchdown, Circle. They're on the board to start off the game. About a 53-yard score on a little touch pass and a couple of broken tackles.
Excellent job by the Circle offense there. They went hurry up after the 4th and 1. They caught the Bullpups off guard. Excellent job blocking out in front for Jansen and a big pickup of 53 yards and a touchdown to take the early lead here at Circle High School.
And to kick the extra point to make it 7-0 is Franklin Aquay. He's a jack of all trades as he can kick the ball really well too. So waiting on the snap. There it is. Good snap, good hold. The kick is high in the air, and it is good. It splits the uprights. It's 7-0 Circle. Just over 2 minutes in. Bullpups will have their first offensive possession coming up next. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
McPherson 0-0.
I'm Jared. Since 1948, we at Krupp Lumber in Heston have been helping customers choose the perfect lumber, find the right tools, and improve homes every step of the way. We offer a wide selection.
He has an opportunity spinning past the 35, and multiple T-Birds coming at the 36, but how about a gain of 13 of their own to start off on the pass on the near side to Ashton Malm.
Excellent job there. Nice play action pass. Well, they started the same way Circle did. Play action pass with Circle's defense really looking at the run and trying to stop Dane Becker. Now you give it to your best playmaker in Ashton Malm. We saw it early last week. I want to see more of it.
1st and 10 on the right hash and the shotgun. Everybody bunched up, and now multiple receivers in motion on the outside. 2 to the far, 1 to the near. And behind Bankson is Becker in the pistol. Hand off Becker as the lane parts across the 40. Spun down at the 41-yard line. Gain of 5 yards on first down. Makes it 2nd and medium for the Bullpups.
Excellent job again. We talked about the ones to watch in the pregame show. The entire offensive line. That time the guard center guard combo was able to get a push, and Becker went untouched for the first 4 yards and still picked up 5 yards.
Yeah, again, you mentioned the front line, and that's paid dividends already, even though it's just 2 plays. 2nd down and 5 at the 41-yard line, 8.5 minutes to go, and ticking in this first quarter. Bankson looking to throw, just sets, fires, caught at the first down marker by Malm, trying to make some moves to the left side, got a couple extra. It's a first down nonetheless at the 49-yard line, and a gain of 8 makes it 1st and 10.
Yeah, excellent job there. Just a nice little 6-yard comeback route, hit him in stride. When you have to respect the speed of Ashton Malm, and so when he takes off down the field and stops on a dime, you have no time to stay sticky on him. That time, great job by Carter Bankston to get the football out.
In the shotgun they work now. 2 receivers bunched up, one behind the other on each side. Becker in the backfield to the right hip pocket. It'll be a play action. Bankson will fake the throw, run up the middle, lost the football later, did he? It's down on the ground, or he was down. I lost sight of the football. It's a gain of 5 yards on first down. I think he may have just tucked it to the right, which is the opposite of what we saw it, and he was still able to be down by contact.
That time they went back to the same play that they started this drive with, but this time Carter Bankston took the football, faked the pass to the outside into the flat, and just got upfield for 5 yards. Excellent decision-making there by Carter Bankston.
Now, the 5 yards he just got on the ground were the exact number that he had last week in 6 carries. 7:20 to go first quarter. Bullpups trailing 7-0. Got 2nd and 5 at the Circle 46. Play action, throw near side, caught by Malm for a first down at the 40, down the sideline, wrestled out of bounds on the near side at the 36-yard line. Give it to the junior. He'll work. 1st and 10 Bullpups.
Yeah, excellent job again. Just another 5-yard comeback route. Picks up another 10 or 5 more after that. So 10-yard pickup, first down. McPherson's offense right now is trying to take advantage of the speed outside and the fear factor of Dane Becker and the running back core.
Now how about this? An empty back 5 wide, but Becker is about 5 yards to the left of Carter Bankton. A whistle blown, and the near official puts up their hands. There might be a clock malfunction, I think, because I saw one official, he didn't make the signal to reset the play clock like they do, just pushing up like you're putting your hands in the air, giving the Lord a high five. No, he kind of did it underhand, but I think he was trying to say the play clock should have reset when it didn't.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's kind of going on here, but now the white hat official is going to talk to both of the kind of the down and line judges here to talk to each head coach on each side to figure out what is really going on. But Lane, early on, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this Bullpup offense. They're trying to move fast. They're using play action pass, and they're trying to get Ashton Malm involved as many times as possible.
Now, one official went to the circle bench, which is on the far side, to talk to one of the coaches, and I wonder if he was telling them, hey, radio up there, see what's going on. But, we're still kind of sitting stagnant right now. The play clock not running, and now it will. Okay, I think we had a game clock problem because it kept running. It was at under 7 minutes. Now it's at 7:09. I think that was the problem. So empty back, empty back. There's a man on the left side, but movement up front, and a flag comes in, and this one looked like it was on the Bullpups. That'll move them back 5 yards.
Yeah, Bullpups. That time, I think they just moved a touch too early. Going to back them up 5 yards, and just not what you want, especially in the middle of a drive where you've started off really well, then you have a stoppage of play for just a few seconds, and then a penalty right after. Now you're behind the sticks, 1st down and 15.
The bright side is that, hey, it's really warm out. It gives them a chance to rest, and yeah, even though you can move back 5 yards to make it 1st and 15, it is 1st down. In the shotgun, Bankton will roll to the left. He does have Puhala in front of him, but he'll fire it a little bit deeper. Caught by Bullocks at the 30-yard line. Get the penalty yardage back and then some at the 29-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and about 3 yards coming up.
Yeah, an excellent pitch and catch there. They just got Carter Bankston out to the left of the pocket, got him in motion, and then just a simple out route by Bo Barkley and picks up 10 yards on the play and sets him up in good field position right now.
6.5 minutes and ticking, just a little over that actually. McPherson with the ball in their first possession, trailing 7-0 after giving up a 53-yard touchdown in their first defensive drive of the game in league play. In the shotgun, they will hand it off. Becker up the middle, wrestled down up high for no gain on the play, maybe half a yard at most, and it'll be 3rd down and short.
Yeah, second down and short, 2nd down and medium, really. Nice job to try to get the football in Dane Becker's hands and trust your offensive line. That time, the hole was plugged right away by the linebacker for circle and no gain. Now it's 3rd down and short. You've got pretty much every play in your playbook ready to go for this.
It's about 3rd down and 3, and they're in the pistol. Becker in the backfield behind Bankton, just about a couple yards out. 2 receivers on the wide side near and a tight end with Malm lined up on the far. Now Barkley goes in motion from right to left as they are on the left hash. Play clock is down to 3, down to 2. Bankton down to 1-0, and they do not get it off in time. Whistle, timeout called by McPherson.
Yeah, good timeout. You got to get set, ready to go. With 3 seconds left, not a ton of time to get the snap off. Good timeout.
They burn their first timeout with 5:39 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a 30-second timeout and be back after this. You're listening to Bullpup Football on KMCP.
Hey, Bulldog fans. This is Ryan Markarian, quarterback for McPherson College Football. We are taking on Tabor College at 6 o'clock Saturday, September 13th at Paul Family Field. Sponsored by Jim's Appliances of Innet. Purchase season passes and single game tickets online at macbulldogs.com. We hope to see you there Saturday, September 13th. As always, it's a great day to be a Bulldog.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Special thanks to Ryan Markarian for coming in and promoting what will be a fun broadcast tomorrow for McPherson College, which we'll have right here on KMCP for the Highway 56 showdown against the Circle Thunderbirds. Back here, McPherson trailing 7-0. I said Circle Thunderbirds. Tabor Blue Jays. It's one bird. It's one bird to the other. Anyway, the Circle Thunderbirds lead the Bullpups 7-0. But McPherson had to burn their first timeout. 5:39 to go first quarter. They are at the Circle 29 and 3rd down and 3. Now an extra whistle comes in from the umpire, and he's trying to come in, and he said,
Bo Barkley's got to come off the field for an equipment malfunction. I think it's because his mouthpiece may have either come off or something. I don't know. He's telling head coach Chase Pavlovich what's going on. I think he kind of disagreed with the whistle, but he's got to come out. Nolan Piercy's got to come in at tight end. That does reset the play clock. McPherson in the shotgun. Handoff. Becker finds a lane left side. Wrestling, trying to get the sticks. Did he get it? If he did, it was very short. If he didn't get it, it's very short, I should say. One official on the near side put their hand up, but did not signal a first down. It's either 1st and 10 or 4th and the length of the football. It's 4th down.
Yeah, just a nice job up front blocking. Just not able to get the full 3 yards they needed. You got 2.5, 2 3 quarters. 4-down territory here, though. You got to go for it here deep in Thunderbird territory.
Well, they bring in their goal line formation with a receiver wide to the far side and also at the tight end. Here comes Bankton to come up, and it might be a QB sneak. No, he lost the ball, but a flag comes in. The play is dead. If it's a false start, it's still McPherson's ball. But there was some movement up front before the snap, and there was no play.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where this is going to go. I think it might be on McPherson. Both officials are going to talk about it before reporting it to the white hat official, and it is going to be a false start. So now it's going to be 4th and 6, and I really still think this is 4-down territory. You need to go for it, even if it is early in the game.
4:47, clock stops after the penalty. 7-0 McPherson trails, but now it is 4th down and 6 at the 31-yard line. McPherson's offense on the field. It will be a pistol formation for Carter Bankton, 2 receivers and a tight end far side. Ashton Malm to the near side. Bankton takes a snap, play action, looking to his right. He's going to fire across it. It's dropped! Dropped by Puhala. It was a low throw, but in the midst of Puhala, hits the turf, incomplete, and McPherson turns it over on downs.
Yeah, had him open there just on a simple kind of crossing pattern with Carter Bankton coming out of the pocket to the right side. He had 2 guys there on more of a levels pattern where he had Bo Barkley in front and Nolan Piercy Isaac Puhal about 6 yards down the field, just unable to connect there and turnover on down. Circle now has the football, and you need a big stop here for the Bullpups defense.
So a drive that goes 46 yards in 5 minutes ends with nothing on the scoreboard, and Circle back on the field already up 7-0 over the Bullpups. 4:33 to go in this first quarter as the sideline continues to look at their bench, that being Circles on the far side. Shotgun on the right hash. Stobart comes up, barks something to the O-line. The 2 tight ends switch from right to left. 2 receivers wide to the near side and Aquay in the backfield, and it will be a handoff, but Aquay is stuffed at the line, maybe a yard at most. What a job by the front line for McPherson. Carter Leathers was there, so were Chase Lowry, and it'll be 2nd down and 9 coming up for the T-Birds.
You know, early on, at least first possession and one play here on the offensive side. For Circle, I really think the Bullpups defensive line is going to be a matchup problem for this offensive line of Circle. Right now, they're getting a ton of push up front, and they just have not yet gotten to take advantage of it.
In the shotgun, Stobart, 3-step drop, fires. It is caught down the sideline. Piercy was giving chase, tried to reach out with his mitt, but could not get contact with the football. It's a short gain, though, of about 3 yards, and it'll be 3rd down and about 7 coming up for Circle.
Yeah, a good little pitch and catch, just to like a 3-yard little out route, and picked up a few yards. But Nolan Piercy there with excellent coverage and able to make the tackle right away.
So 3rd down and between the depths of medium and long with under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Circle up by a touchdown. 3-step drop. Stobart looking. Here comes pressure. Stutzman brings him down at the 20-yard line. We did not call his name much last week, and he was a guy to watch out for. His first sack of the season, and it's 4th down for Circle.
Yeah, an excellent job by Jaron Stutzman. He's an excellent defensive end, an edge rusher of all sorts. He stops the run, he sets a good edge, and rushes the passer. Excellent job there, and we just talked about how this defensive line is really getting a good push up front.
So they will boot it away. Aquay to the near side. Dane Becker back deep to return. It'll bounce at midfield and come to rest at the McPherson 48.5-yard line. That's where the Bullpups will take over with 3:14 to go in the first quarter. But how about that? Could you say that's a momentum booster?
Yeah, 100%. Right after the turnover on downs on the offensive side, coming in, getting a good 3 and out, getting the football back. in very, very, very quick fashion, about 3 minutes or so. What an excellent job by the Bullpups defense. Way to stand up there.
Now, last time McPherson started at their own 23, but then turned it over on downs after 5 minutes and 46 yards. Let's see how they can turn it around right here. Bankton in the shotgun on the right hash. It'll be a play action. Bankton rolls to his left. He has Mom, and he high points it, catches it midfield across the far side at the 40, but then brought down at the 35-yard line. Good chunk of change by the junior wide receiver. First down on a 17-yard gain on the first drive, or the first play of the drive.
Yeah, all it looks like right now is that it's a read. It's going to be a read option. Carter Banks can either keep it or hand it off to his tailback, who right now is Millicent. But then he's going to roll out and just make the defensive back choose between tackling him and going out and covering Ashton Malm. And if he covers Ashton Malm, that means you're going to keep the football as the quarterback.
First down and 10 at the Circle, 34-yard line. Whistles blow. And what? Another equipment. Ashton's knee pads, I think, is the issue, and he's going to have to come off the field for a play because of it. Okay, that is a point of emphasis this year where the knee pads, they really didn't care as much, or they especially don't care as much at the college level where they are, if they're above the knees or at the knees. At the high school level, that is a point of emphasis. They have to be at the knees, not above. So that's a new point of emphasis, and then to come in will be Matt Berger this play for Ashton Malm. But first down and 10, man in motion. They'll just fire it to the flats near side for Millicent on a backwards pass, but he is wrestled down in the backfield on the near side at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 3 yards on first down.
Yeah, and that'll go down as a rush, being that it was a backwards pass, but again, they were just trying to get Millicent out in space there, get him the football where there's no one around him and try to make a man miss. Excellent job by the Circle defense in rallying to the football and making a good gang tackle.
So it'll be second down and about 13 yards on the right hash in the shotgun, or rather the pistol. Millicent in the backfield. Bankton barks out to his old line on a fake snap. It is Malm lined up on the near side, a tight end to receivers far. Bankton gets set now, takes the snap, handoff. Millicent up the middle. He finds a lane at the 30, gets hit, sheds off it at the 25. He's on the far side at the 15, at the 10, wrestling at the 5, and hit hard out of bounds inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Brody Millicent, who had no varsity experience a season ago, has a big run on this much-needed drive. First and goal, Bullpups.
Excellent job running with power and balance. He bounced off of that tackle attempt, and that's what happens when you don't wrap up. He bounced off that tackle and picked up another 15, 20 yards after that broken tackle. What a great job. What a great run. I noticed on the outside they were trying to double Ashton Malm, which leaves not enough men in the middle when you run the football.
Carter Busker dapped up Millicent as he head to the sideline. Becker now in as the tailback. First down and goal at the 4. Handoff, Becker going to the left side, lowering the head. Lost the football, but he jumps right back on it at the 2-yard line. Second down and short coming up. Second down and goal for the Bullpups.
Yeah, just first down and goal to go. You got to give it to your best running back. Dane Becker, that time he picks up 1 yard, but you got 3 more chances deep in Circle territory and definitely inside the red zone.
1:25 and ticking in the first quarter as McPherson brings multiple players back onto the field as they try to go a little more with a power back with Bankton in the shotgun, but one back lined up on each side. That's Becker on the left, Millicent on the right, also a tight end on the right side. It's a handoff for Becker, lowers the shoulder across the goal line. He's in! Touchdown, McPherson! Dane Becker, the junior tailback, with his first rushing touchdown of the season, and the Bullpups are an extra point away from tying this game with 1:06 to go in the first quarter.
First try doesn't get in, second try, just give it right back to him and let him just fall forward and use this offensive line to your advantage. Great job, great drive, good answer for the Bullpups.
Jackson Hoover in to kick the extra point to make it 7-7. Carter Bankton is the holder. Still waiting on the snap. And now it comes. Good snap, good hold, kick on the way, and it is good. 7-7 Bullpups off of the rushing touchdown, and McPherson ties the game late in the first quarter. We're back after this. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
From spring planting to landscaping and fall cleanups to winter snow removal, LS Tractor is your warmest pack tractor for all seasons. Our universal skid steer quick attach system makes switching out attachments a breeze, and our tough heavy lifting loaders give you added strength for any job. Start with reliability and power, stay for a wide range of capabilities, attachments, and implements. Get more features for less money. Start blue, stay blue with LS Tractor. Visit Mound Ridge Tractor, where customer service has been our business since 1985.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
McPherson ties it back up after allowing a touchdown on their first defensive possession of the game. They now deadlock it at 7 apiece after a 2-yard rushing touchdown from Dane Becker. What did you like on that drive there, Nathan?
Just about all of it, I'll be honest. I enjoyed the mix of run and pass, but what they were trying to do early in the drive, and it really paid dividends at the end of the drive, was put Circle into a spot where they had to make a decision between one player or the other, and both players can beat you, and that they used it to their advantage, especially on the first play with almost a modified modern-day triple option where you either give the ball off or you keep it, and then you either make the decision on whether you keep it or give it off to Ashton Malm on the outside. But excellent drive, excellent job, and again, it's a great answer by the Bullpups.
2 minute, 8 second drive that goes 51 yards. Dane Becker cashing in with the rushing touchdown. And now Jackson Hoover will boot it away from left to right. One of the kick returners back deep is Franklin Aquay. See who it is on the far side as we're having trouble reading the numbers again. But the sun's starting to set. It's getting behind the trees. Hoover's kickoff is high, returnable on the far side, and it will be returned from the 1-yard line down the far sideline and hit out of bounds at the 20, just across the 20-yard line by Jason Smith. And it'll be a first down for Circle starting off on the right side as they mark him at the 21.
Yeah, for Circle here, I really think you had a nice drive early. You tried to attack the outsides, and you kind of got away from the run a little bit. You used more play-action pass on the first possession where you scored the touchdown. That last time you tried to go back to Aquay, and it didn't really work as the Bullpups really front seven was able to rally and gang tackle them. I'd like to see them get back outside again.
Well, how do the Thunderbirds respond? It will be first down and 10 on the right hash. Stobart in the shotgun. Now the tailback moves behind him about a couple of yards to turn it into a pistol. One receiver lined up wide near side, one to the far, a tight end on each side as well. It'll be a play action. Stobart keeps it himself, but slides down in the backfield at about the 16-yard line. The pressure came in early. What a job by the Bullpup front line. Dylan Hall was the guy that brought him down, or at least pseudo brought him down as he slid down to the ground for a loss of 4.
You know what, Lane? I don't know if that was supposed to be a play action. I think that was just really meant to be almost a handoff, but Aquay almost went too far out and was unable to get the handoff and thought it was more of a pitch. But that time, the Bullpups take advantage of a broken play and a big 4-yard loss.
About a 13-second difference between the two clocks. 7 on the play clock here in this first quarter and about 17 on the game clock. It is a botched snap as they try to go with a run. They just fire near side, and it hits the ground. I didn't hear a whistle. They're ruling it a backwards pass and a loss of 2 as they go down to the 14. Now, Nathan, I saw you wave your arm saying that should have been incomplete, but they said a backwards pass and a lateral, and a loss on the play will end the first quarter. And what a momentum boost. You take away that first drive from Circle. McPherson's had a terrific last 2 defensive drives, and Circle's going to face third down at about 16 to start the second quarter.
And you know what? I'll be honest. With the loss of 2, I don't want it to be incomplete.
Yeah, there you go. Well, we'll be back in 30 seconds for the second quarter. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Here's a bright idea. The internet should work. Just like electricity, water, or sewer, it's a utility. It should work as consistently as one. I mean, can you imagine what buffering would be like in the shower? Or worse, if the toilet ever started lagging? The internet should just work. Another bright idea from IdeaTech.
Get high-speed IdeaTech fiber internet at ideatech.com.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
7-7 tie through one quarter of play. McPherson allowed an opening drive touchdown that went 53 yards to the house, but they capitalized most recently to tie the game. Coverage of Bullpup football is brought to you by McPherson College. You bring the dream, we'll build the team. Success is a team effort. Begin building yours at McPherson College. It's always a great day to be a Bulldog.
Go Dogs!
That's a public address announcer for McPherson College football that you may hear if you go to McPherson Stadium tomorrow. I'll be on the microphone for the radio call. Should be a fun one tomorrow. But we're back here, though. Circle is facing third down at about 16 yards after a 2. They're at the 9. They need the 31. 2 seconds did come off of the clock, even though there was no snap. So I think the officials, I don't know if they're going to keep the clock as is or if they're going to put the 2 seconds back up. The officials are coming in, and they are not letting play go, so I think they are just going to let the clock reset to 12 minutes as we are at the start of the quarter.
Once he got it out, we're all set, ready to go.
Well, it's actually going to stay as is, and Circle is going to keep it with a shotgun, and they'll run it to the far side with Aquay, and he's got an opening on the 25, cuts to the 30, and they got a first down all the way to the 36-yard line. They needed 22, and they got 27 on the ground by Franklin Aquay. First down for the Thunderbirds.
And that's the fear with Franklin Aquay. He's a big play running back. He gets big chunk yards at a time. With just over 10 yards to carry in his last game, he's an athletic running back, just got him out in space, and he did the work.
In the shotgun, they'll hand it off Aquay with a stutter step move, but then he got hit hard at the line, stretched forward for a couple extra yards, but no further. Nolan Piercy and Dakota Lynn were there to bring him down to make it second down and about 9 yards per Circle.
I'm not going to make the comparison. I try to stay away from NFL comparisons, but that was Le'Veon Bell-esque. The start and stop aspect of Aquay, that was wonderfully done there, even though it picked up just 2 yards.
Yeah, usually Le'Veon really let that go for about 6 or 7 a carry at the very least when he was with the Steelers. In the pistol, they'll hand it off up the middle again. Aquay stuffed at the line at the left side, maybe a loss. And what a job by the front line for the Bullpups. Matt Berger was there, so were Carter Busker and a couple of other Bullpups that I'm trying to figure out who were there because there were so many white jerseys, and it's a loss of about a yard on the play.
Let's just call it a litter of pups.
There you go.
But an excellent job by this defensive line and this front seven. They are really filling holes and just not allowing this Circle running back group to really get going outside of the one big run.
So third down and 9 coming up for Circle. 10.5 minutes left in the first half and a tied game at 7 apiece. But Circle has not scored since the very first drive of the game. The last drive ended in a punt, and we're currently on 3rd and 9, but a whistle and a timeout will be called on the play by Circle. So we're going to go ahead and keep it here. We'd like to thank our friends at Next Tech Wireless. Stream live audio and video with the Ad Astra Radio app powered by Next Tech Wireless, where you can find the latest phones and devices at the best prices. Now, the thing is, McPherson, last time they had third down, defensively, it was 3rd and a mile, and Franklin Aquay got about 1.5 miles. So now what do you do here on 3rd down?
My guess is that that the Bullpups are be prepared for Franklin Aquay to run this football. Since then, he's the only person that's really touched the football outside of the center, and the quarterback to hand it off. So I'd expect this ball to go back to Franklin Aquay, but also the back end's got to be ready for play action pass, and then kind of to almost take a shot without really taking a shot, more like a 14 to 17 yard intermediate pass.
Well, 9's all they need. 3rd down and 9 in the shotgun. Trips to the right and a tailback to the left hip pocket. I believe that's Jason Smith in the backfield, right next to Stobart on the left hash. The whistle blows as the play clock will begin from 25. They'll clap the hands, but now they'll look to their sideline to get the official play up and rolling. Still plenty of time on the play clock, though, for the Thunderbirds, trying to get a first down and keep the drive alive. Here's a chest-high snap and a 5-step drop. He's going to uncork it deep. He's got a man in. It is caught in stride, but Lynn laid a boom. But what a job to hold on to the football by Jay Bonowitz at the McPherson 30-yard line. 28 is actually where they're going to mark it, but a big chunk of change at a first down for a Circle.
Yeah, big play action pass, just a nice post pattern over the middle of the field. The Bullpups left it wide open, just bringing the strong safety up into the box. They were able to take advantage of it.
Up tempo they go, they bobble the snap, it's given to the tailback, and he is brought down in the backfield. That was pinballed between Stobart and Jason Smith in the backfield. Smith had to run up and grab it about 2 yards behind the line. He ends up going back to the 31-yard line, or 32, for a loss of about 4 yards.
Yeah, less than ideal after taking a shot play. You want to get up there and just hand the football off and pick up 2, 3, 4 yards on that play. Catch the Bullpups just a little bit tired that time. Bad snap, botch snap, not able to pick up any yards, and actually a loss of 4. Now you're behind the chains.
They bring Franklin Aquay back behind, or as the tailback. 2 by 2, they line up in between the hashes, one in motion left to right. Now a 3-step drop, he'll fire to the left side, just overthrown and incomplete. On the far side, I think that was intended for Gabe Duncan. It was just a little bit too much mustard from the right arm of Stobart. 3rd down coming up with 9:04 to go in the second quarter, and they are at the McPherson 32.
Yeah, it really looked like they were going like a cover one over the top on the defensive side with man-to-man underneath. On the close side of the field, Circle had 2 wide receivers almost running a dagger pattern, which means one guy goes upfield and the other guy comes across on a crosser, crossing over the top. I think if Stobart would have waited just a few more seconds, he actually would have had a man open.
2 by 2, they line up, man in motion to the left, to the right, from the left to the right side, and a 3-step drop. Stobart's going to look to fire it far side. He may have overthrown it. Can Becker catch up to it? He can't, because that went towards the end zone on the far side and went out of bounds. Incomplete, 4th down and long. The offense on the field right now, it's about 4-down territory, Nathan.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, fourth and long, and really when it's 4th down, this is probably considered 4th and a mile here. I don't know how many plays you got for 4th down going this far, but it just looked like there was a little bit of miscommunication on the outside. It should have been just a simple go route, and the wide receiver stopped in his tracks and almost allowed Dane Becker. If Dane Becker wouldn't have stopped there, but he had to respect the wide receiver, if he wouldn't have stopped there, he would have had an easy interception.
4th down, trips to the left side. It's about 4th and 14. Play clock down to 5. Low snap, but he gets it off. They're going to fire across the middle, and it is dropped on an interception, but it doesn't matter. It's a turnover on downs, even though it went out of the hands of Carter Busker. The offense gets the ball back at their own 32.
Quite honestly there, I don't know if you even want to intercept that football. You just really want to knock it down. An excellent job in zone coverage by Busker to just break that pass up. Didn't really have an opening there to Stobart, but he just tried to force the issue there and had to on 4th down. Turnover on downs. Bullpups again hold strong on the defensive side of the football and now have a chance to go take the lead here in the second quarter.
4 minutes, 58 yards on that drive, but now McPherson takes over off the turnover on downs at their own 32 with 8:53 to go in the first half and a tied game at 7 apiece. Bankton on a low snap, he collected and hands it off. Millicent up the middle, trying to cut to the left. He won't go much further than the 36. That's where the swarm of Thunderbirds will come in and bring him down. A gain of about 4 yards, 5 yards, I'll say a 4 on 1st down.
Yeah, an excellent job. Good vision by Millicent. He hit the hole early and then realized that hole was going to be erased here after a minute, and so he made a cut and picked up another yard or 2 on that, just on the jump alone.
In the pistol, as the sun is officially set, as it's across the trees, and we're seeing a lot of orange, purple, and blue on the far side, but McPherson, their sights set on the south end zone. On a pistol, it'll be handed off to Millicent on the near side. He had an opening, lowers the head to make contact. He'll get a couple extra yards for a 1st down, but a late flag will come in. A Thunderbird had his arms out at about the 41. That's where the flag is. Will this play stand? We'll see.
Lane, I don't know if this play is going to stand, especially talking to the down judge there on the near side, or the line judge on the near side. But again, Bullpups are going to move backwards, but one of the people I want to give a shout out to, and he made that run possible, and he's probably going to be the one flagged on it here, is Jace Gunn. He just absolutely got a push off the line of scrimmage and pushed the defensive lineman about 10 yards down the field, and I think what it's going to be is
personal foul, face mask on the offense. So take away that play, what would have been a 1st down, make it 15 yards from the spot of the foul. So from the line of scrimmage, it's about, what would you say, 7 or 8 yards. But it's second down and about 15 now for McPherson. They're in the shotgun. 2x2, they line up in between the hashes. Becker in the backfield. Bankton, three-step drop. Here comes pressure, but it's a screen near side for Aaron Winter. He's going to find the near sideline, but he's tripped down, and another flag's going to come in as a Thunderbird's helmet came off, and Jace Gunn had the flag thrown in his direction. Franklin Akwe's helmet came off. Because it's a penalty, he can stay in the game.
Lane, talking about the play, we'll figure out the penalty here after a second. Talking about this play, the offense actually McPherson put Ashton Malm in the backfield there as just a tailback, and then got the football out to Aaron Winter. A little bit of misdirection there for the Bullpups, and got it out to Winter on a play that normally is going to be considered for Ashton Malm.
So that's a holding call now on the McPherson offense. Or what was it called?
It's some sort of personal foul, I believe.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. They said, I thought I heard the speaker say 10-yard penalty, which if it's from the spot, well, maybe a little bit further than that. I think you were right, Nathan, because the official with the ball is going to plant it at the 14-yard line. This would make it second down and 28, if I'm doing my math right. No, they're at the 16. And they need the 42. So 26. Shotgun formation, 2x2, they line up. Play action, Bankton fakes, now rolls out of the pocket, fires late, dropped as it was a little bit too high. They couldn't high point it as it falls out of the midst of Colt Chapman, who just checked into the game, and it'll be third down and long for McPherson. 7:40 to go first half, tied at 7.
I like the idea of the double move, the fake pass, almost a sluggo, just a slant and go, but Circle defense just didn't bite there and had to try to check it down there and just fired it too hot to the outside wide receiver.
Third down and 16 then for McPherson. 26, I should say. 2x2, they line up in the shotgun on the left hash. And Bankton, three-step drop. Here comes pressure. It's a screen pass up the middle for Becker. Stop and go move to the left side up the middle to the 31. They just go all the way back to the original line of scrimmage, but it'll be fourth down and 10.
Yeah, it's just what you can do on that play. It's third down and essentially a mile. Third down and 26. And if you can just get back and pick up 16 yards on a nice screen pass, it was wide open there. Now you can look at it and put it on film and come back to it at a later time.
Now 4th and 12.
Absolutely. Well, actually, they gave him, well, the public address announcer said 4th and 12. It's actually 4th and 11, if that. And Jackson Hoover will be the one to punt it away for McPherson. And Franklin Akwe back deep to return. A good snap, and Hoover able to boot it away. Side over side to the far side. I think they wanted to get away from him, but he caught it in stride at the 37. Going to return. Flag comes in at midfield. Out of bounds at the 49-yard line in McPherson territory. Well, let's check the marker first.
Yeah, when Franklin Akwe's back there, you're going to try to kick it away from him as best as possible. That time he caught it in stride, tried to work upfield, was out about the 49-yard line of Bullpups territory. Like you said, though, flag on the play. I wonder what this is going to be.
Well, I think this might be, because it was at midfield. It wasn't, but that was where there were pretty much a pile of humanity for both teams. McPherson's defense is moving that direction, but the official told them to move back. It doesn't matter. It's a holding call on Circle, so that'll move him back from the flag, which was at the Circle 49, so it'll be first down and 10 for Circle at their own 39.
Yeah, I really liked on the last possession what Circle tried to do, and they got the run established.
There should have been a flag on McPherson, but none whistled, and now they'll head to the side, or check to the sideline, I should say, as they await their call for first down and 10 at the McPherson 21. Trying to score and break the tie. 2x2 in the shotgun. They've gone with this formation a lot with Sawyer in motion left to right. Akwe in the backfield, but a three-step drop looking to throw. Pressure comes. They'll fire to the end zone near side. Caught in stride. Touchdown Circle. Dominic Sawyer, the man in motion, goes on a wheel route down the right sideline and gives Circle the lead. 13-7, 3:21 to go in the first half.
Yeah, just a simple wheel route out to Dominic Sawyer. Made his just left his man in the dust, and that's why Dominic Sawyer averaged 26 yards a reception last game against Field Kinley, and picks up the big touchdown, and Circle retakes the lead.
And to kick the extra point, Franklin Akwe to make it 14-14. Good snap, good hold. Here comes pressure, but he gets it away, and the kick is good to make it 14-7. Circle over McPherson. We'll step aside. We're back in 30 seconds for the ensuing kickoff with 3:21 to go in the first half. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Exciting news, McPherson. The Cedars is now proud to be part of the Blue Stem community family. That means the same trusted care with even more resources, more connection, and more possibilities. Whether you're looking for independent living, assisted care, or skilled services, the Cedars continues to be your homegrown choice, now stronger than ever as a Blue Stem community. Live well with the Cedars, now part of the Blue Stem community.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Circle takes the lead over McPherson 14-7, 3:21 to go first half on a big drive in which at one point McPherson on defense was going up against second down and 34, but Circle then turned it around after a couple of miscues and Circle back on top.
Yeah, good drive, good answer to the couple of penalties that they incurred in the bad snap, and just were able to answer and make the Bullpups kind of force the issue on defense a little bit.
The ensuing boot is underway. It was bounced a couple of times. Winter now breaks through a couple of would-be tacklers, and then across the 20 to the 21 he goes, and that's where McPherson will set up shop, trying to make something happen before the end of the half.
Last possession the Bullpups had on offense, the Circle Thunderbirds defense trying to really double Ashton Malm, and so the Pups had to go away from Ashton Malm a little bit, and they're really not getting anything going a ton right now with Dane Becker outside of the 2-yard touchdown run. By my count, he's only got 11 yards on the ground, but Millicent does have 39, so just trying to get this run game going, and I think you got to go with the hot hand and Millicent for just a second and just try to get this run game going.
First down and 10 at their own 22-yard line for McPherson on the right hash, and the shotgun is Bankton with Millicent in the backfield with two receivers far side and a tight end. Fake handoff. Bankton looks near side high. Pass way too high. Incomplete. Intended for Ashton Malm. Incomplete. Makes it 2nd and 10.
Again, I think that's just a modernized triple option play where you're just trying to get the defense in a position where they have to make choices. At that time, I think Carter Bankston could have cut back up the field and picked up a few yards, but instead he decides to just throw it and threw it over the head of Ashton Malm. 2nd and 10, 3:10 to go in the second quarter as they reset the play clock. Pistol formation. The clock does not run on the incompletion. Two receivers wide to the near side, one to the far with a tight end on the near side as well. Millicent in the backfield. They will hand it off to him. Cuts up the middle, and he finds an opening 30. Near side of the 35. Just has one man to beat and more down the sideline, but he's at midfield at the 45. Lowers the head down to the 40-yard line. You called it, partner. Brody Millicent's been the hot hand, and he continues it. 1st and 10 in Circle territory. Yeah, an excellent run by Brody Millicent, but really great job by Isaac Puhala. He was 15 yards downfield, blocking his man, and actually ran his man into the safety, into the free safety, knocked down the free safety, and broke that play open for Brody Millicent.
1st and 10 at the Circle 40-yard line. Bankton in the shotgun, trips to the right with a tight end, two receivers, low snap, 3-step drop. He's going to look left, though. He has Malmy, high points it, and makes the catch, going down to the 15-yard line. 16 rather, but a 44-yard, or 44, but either way, big 1st down and 10. I'm losing my mind. Nathan, why don't you try to find it for me?
Yeah, an excellent job. Just went up, threw it to his best guy where only his man could catch the football. Great ball by Carter Bankston. Better catch by Ashton Malm.
24-yard gain was there. Pistol set, whistles blow as we have 2:13 to go in the quarter. I think we have a timeout. Timeout McPherson. They use their second of the half right here. But you get back-to-back big plays for McPherson, and they have, 2:13 to go with one timeout left after calling the timeout. I say that, but the official then motions a different way. We'll figure out, we'll double-check who the timeout's on. But still, McPherson in business, they give up the touchdown, they give up the drive. And what they've done today, Nathan, is they've done a good job of answering.
Yeah, 100%. They've done a great job of answering. Now, when they're tied, they've struggled a little bit. They've almost shot themselves in the foot just a touch. And really, you wrote it in your pregame notes about what the key to success was going to be. Get out of their own way, just make the play you're supposed to make in front of you. And this time, they have. This drive they have. They have not stepped on their own foot just yet. and hopefully that continues throughout this drive and they don't step on their foot all the way down inside the red zone and into the end zone.
Well, it's 14-7, Circle, 2:13 to go in the second quarter. McPherson has 1st and 10 at the Circle 16. They're in the red zone. It's a pistol formation. Piercy is to the left hip pocket of Bankson, but Becker 2 yards behind him. They'll hand it off to Becker, going to the right edge. He's got an opening at the...
Predictable, staying focused on your long-term financial goal matters more than ever. Count on your Ameriprise financial advisor for personalized, goal-based advice to help you navigate now and stay on track for tomorrow. Call Prairie Hills Financial Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC today at 620-504-5062. Offices located in McPherson, Hutchinson, Wichita, and Dodge City, Kansas.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
What a drive for McPherson, especially for Brody Millison. He had a 38-yard run in that drive. He capped it off with a touchdown of his own, his first of the year, running up the gut from 1 yard out, and we're tied at 14 with 105 seconds to go in this first half.
Yeah, for a guy that didn't have any varsity experience last year, Brody Millison has come onto the scene. He is a good running back. He's got excellent vision. He's just shifty enough to make men miss, especially when he needs to, and he's strong enough to break tackles like we saw in the first quarter. What an excellent job by that young man on that possession.
And you talk about a 2-minute drill. This drive only went 90 seconds, so good job by the Bullpups on that touchdown drive. But now Jackson Hoover will boot it away for the ensuing kickoff. Circle does have 1:45 and all 3 timeouts to try to break the tie before going to the locker room. It's a low line drive, boot side over side, near side. It bounces 10 to the 5 into the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, an excellent kick. He tried to, Jackson Hoover, it rolled into the end zone, so he tried to make the returner and Jason Smith make a decision on whether he should go pick that up or not. He made the right decision, in my opinion, and now that football's going to come out to the 20-yard line.
Second touchback kicked by Jackson Hoover from the kickoff spot, and I mean, we've said time and again, this guy's really special. He's just a sophomore with a leg, and he shows it. So 1st down and 10 at the Circle 20-yard line. They have it in the shotgun, 2 by 2. They line up on the receivers. They're in between the hashes. Franklin and Q in the backfield, and he's been terrific on the ground today. Let's see what they'll do on 1st down with the play clock down to 8. He shifts from the right to the left side, and it will be a handoff to a Q. Stops, but then gets hit at the line. He may have lost a yard on that play. The hole in the middle closed up quickly to make it 2nd down and long.
Trying to go with a counter play, and it just got stopped right away. And man, his helmet came off, so he's got to come off the field. That's a big break for the Bullpups right now, especially early on in this drive. The Bullpups had spread out the defense a little bit. We're almost in man-to-man all the way across. Only had 5 in the box, and were able to rally, make that tackle in a hurry.
90 seconds and ticking to go in this first half. They'll look to throw. 3-step drop. He's going to fire. Got a streak pattern near side. It is knocked away and incomplete. Carter Busker to break it away and make it 3rd down and 11 for Circle. Clock stops at 1:19.
Excellent job by Busker. He was playing essentially center field at almost a cover 1 or a cover 2. Looked more like a cover 1 for me with man-to-man on the outside. Busker was able to break on the play and break up that pass, which would have gone for a ton of yards had it connected down the seam.
Intended for Rocky Cosby on the near side in the slot, and now it's 3rd and 11 with a shotgun set. Trips to the right with 3 receivers. 1 receiver wide to the left, just near the left hash. Stutzman comes in to show blitz, and they will rush 5. Pressure off the edge, but they'll throw near side for EQ out of the flats. Gets to the 30, to the 35, and finally brought down at the 43-yard line. It'll be a 1st down for Circle, and once again they give it to the star Franklin Aq, and he's been terrific.
Yeah, an excellent job there. They just got him out in front, out in space with blockers out in front. The Bullpups just were not able to have enough guys out there to defend it, and Aq just picked up a nice chunk of yards in 24 yards.
A minute to go in the half. 1st and 10 at their own 43. 3-step drop. Looking at fire deep near side, near the sideline. It is caught. Nope, he dropped it. He did not hang on to the ball. Incomplete pass on the near sideline. 2nd down and 10 intended for Bodie Jansen.
Lane, I'm going to say it right now, especially in this 2-minute drill right before halftime. I am thoroughly impressed with Mason Stobart and his ability to throw the football. He has just been spectacular. He's got a real cannon arm, and has just been a little inaccurate at times, especially on the deep ball. But he throws a really pretty football.
He had a pair of touchdowns throwing last week. He's already tied that mark, and we're almost at halftime. Tied at 14, 33 seconds to go in the first half. Second down and 10 at the McPherson 45 for Circle in the shotgun. Trips to the left, one to the right. A Q in the backfield. They're going to look to throw. Hit as he throws it. It is one-on-one. Hits the turf. Incomplete across the 25 after hitting the ground at the 22. Third down and 10. A little underthrown that time, and there are about 3 Bullpups in the area.
Yeah, Dylan Hall just bearing down on Mason Stobart. Just did not give him the ability to step up, set his feet, and make that throw. So off-balance throw, just underthrew him, and there were a ton of Bullpups there. About 4 or 5 Bullpups in the area that could have made an interception.
Clock stops at 24 seconds to go in this first half. Circle, obviously it's not at that range right now, but should it be later on, Circle did not attempt a field goal at all last week. All the kicking was on extra points, in which that was Jackson Strecker kicking, and he went 5 for 7. Franklin Acue is 2 for 2 on PATs today. Third down and 10 at the 45 in McPherson territory. They need the 35, but we're still waiting as the officials are. I think there was a problem with the game clock, and they're trying to radio up to the press box, which is opposite of where we are on the west side. They're on the west side. We're on the east. Play clock or game clock still at 24, and everybody's just kind of standing. There's 22 players on the field, just kind of waiting, all just to put 0.9 seconds on the clock and make it 25 seconds.
Two high safeties here for the Bullpups. Sorry to interrupt you.
You're good. You're good. Yours was more important than mine, honestly. Third down and 10. Acue in motion, low snap, but collected at the waist. 3-step drop, going to throw across the middle. It is caught at the 30 and down to the 27-yard line. First down for Circle. The receiver is slow in getting up. Now, bear in mind, Circle does have timeouts, and they will use one as the far official waves his arms and now blows the whistle. Timeout called by Circle. With 11 seconds, or is this an injury timeout? There was a man slow getting up.
Yeah, it looked like the wide receiver, Jay Bonowitz, was slow getting up after that reception of about 20 yards or so. But that's the problem when you go cover two shell or two high safeties. The middle of the field opens wide up. That time Bonowitz took advantage of it and was able to make the big-time reception.
11 seconds to go in the first half, as it was just an injury timeout, and they may set the game clock again as the far official put up both of his hands to signal to the press box how much time should be on, and they will put 6 more seconds on the clock, make it 17 seconds to go in the first half. They are at the McPherson 26-yard line, and the clock will roll as they are in a 5-wide shotgun. Here comes the pressure with Berger. Hit as he throws across the middle, and it's almost intercepted. Dakota Lynn had his hands on it. Good job by the receiver to knock it loose. Lynn is slow in getting up as he hit the ground hard on his back. So we are pausing right now for an injury. 5 seconds to go in the half as it is, but a Bullpup slow in getting up in what will be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, an excellent play there. I'll be honest. Bringing the Will linebacker and Berger on a blitz on the outside where he had a free shot at Mason Stobart. Stobart still got the football out, but really that looked more like Dakota Lynn was in position as the wide receiver, and Acue, the wide receiver, actually had to go into defensive back mode and break up that pass.
Well, Lynn is on his back. That's one of those where you land on your back and it feels like you maybe just get the wind knocked out of you. He goes up with some help from the training staff and the coaches, but he's walking under his own power. This injury timeout is brought to you by Pile Law. Have you been injured at work or in a car wreck? Pile Law takes the time to explain your options, give you the benefits you deserve. They put 2 more seconds on the clock. 7 seconds to go in this first half. There may be 1 or 2 more plays in this first half for Circle. Again, trying to break the tie. It's 14 all. And they are at the McPherson 26-yard line facing 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those 2 plays here, a play or 2 plays that McPherson's going to look back on in the second half or after this game on if they executed or not, because this will change the entire momentum going into halftime with the Bullpups getting the ball back after the half.
Acue in motion, 3-step drop. He's looking to throw, fires it deep across the middle. A lot of contact, and a flag comes in. It comes in at the 10-yard line with 1 second left in the half, and that will be pass interference on McPherson to bring Circle a lot closer. Lined up right at the 20-yard line. That's Rocky Cosby. This will be the last play of the half, and the clock will start on the snap. Good snap, good hold. The kick on its way. Plenty of leg, and it is good. So Circle breaks the tie to end the first half with 3 Franklin Acue hitting the 30-yard field goal. 17-14, Circle leads at the halftime break. We head to the Great Plains FCU halftime report coming up after this. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Tonight's coverage of Bullpup football continues next with the Great Plains Federal Credit Union halftime report. Coming up, we'll recap tonight's first half and catch you up on other scores around the area. 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
At Pleasant View Home, we believe memory care should feel like home. That's why our memory care unit offers private rooms, a secure courtyard, and 24/7 care from staff trained in Alzheimer's and dementia support. Residents enjoy full lives guided by their own choices with daily activities designed just for them. We don't just care, we honor the person behind the memory. Come see the difference at Pleasant View Home in Inman.
At Health Equip, we are committed to bringing comfort to you and your home. That's why we specialize in health and mobility products designed to keep you feeling your best and living with ease. From CPAPs and BiPAPs to oxygen services and respiratory supplies, our full line of equipment is backed by friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to help find the right fit. Right now, enjoy 20% off our power mobility products and lift chairs. Find us at healthequip.com or visit us in Hutchinson, Newton, and McPherson. Health Equip, comfort, care, and a better way to live.
Looking for your next ride? This is Jason. Come see me at McPherson Car Connection, where you'll find quality used vehicles you can trust. McPherson Car Connection. Stop by today for a quick, no-hassle, enjoyable car buying experience.
McPherson's newest lunch and dinner spot is here. The Boiler House at 1725 East Euclid on the edge of the McPherson College campus serves fresh salads, sandwiches, and wraps, plus drinks for everyone. Open weekdays from 11 to 2, 4:30 to 8.
When recovering from a hospital stay, being in the comfort of your home is important to heal. The compassionate home care team of nurses, therapists, social workers, and home health aides from Hospice and Home Care of Reno County can help you achieve that goal. We are your friends and neighbors, caring about our community and the people who live here. Hospice and Home Care of Reno County, your local not-for-profit agency serving a 50-mile radius of Hutchinson. We care how you live.
With your halftime update from Ad Astra Sports, I'm Lucky Kid. The Kansas Jayhawks have this weekend off. The Kansas State Wildcats playing right now against Arizona. Kansas City Royals taking on the Philadelphia Phillies this weekend. We will have coverage coming up for you of Sunday's game only. That'll get underway with pregame at noon on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP. Saturday's KCAC schedule will have the McPherson College Bulldogs hosting Tabor. Our pregame begins at 5:30 on KMCP. Bethany's at St. Mary. The pregame at 5:30 on KLBG 95.5. The other games around the area have Ottawa at Sterling, Avila at Kansas Wesleyan, Bethel at Friends, and in the one-day game, Evangel is at Southwestern. Kansas City Chiefs have their home opener on Sunday as they try to taste victory for the first time this season. A rematch of last season's Super Bowl as the Philadelphia Eagles come to town. Pre-game coverage Sunday afternoon at 2 on Mix 96.7. JUCO football this weekend's big game is at Hutchinson as the Blue Dragons host Iowa Western in a rematch of last year's championship game. Kickoff at noon at Gowan Stadium. McPherson College Bulldogs soccer is hosting Doane on Saturday. That game will get underway with the women at 11:30, the men at 2 at Paul Family Field. Bethany Ladies Swedes volleyball is at Haskell Saturday afternoon. That's for a match starting at noon. Men's soccer will host Barclay Saturday night at 7:30. Central Christian College volleyball is taking on John Brown tonight. They'll host College of the Ozarks Saturday afternoon at 1 at Jerry Alexander Arena. Tiger Soccer will be hosting Tabor Saturday afternoon, the women at 1, and the men's match will get underway at 3:30. An update on tonight's scoreboard coming up right after this.
More of the Great Plains Federal Credit Union halftime report is coming up after this. Visit GPFCU in Hillsboro or McPherson or online at greatplainsfcu.com. Bullpup football on KMCP.
One of the most important elements of success is knowing when to expand and when to focus on strengthening what you have. At People's Bank and Trust, we've done just that over the years, ensuring that we always have a solid base to provide for our customers and our community. At People's Bank and Trust, we never promise more than we can deliver. And what we deliver is safe, sound, reliable banking that puts you first. Let us put our experience to work for you and your family. People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
From the first heartbeat to breathing easier and life-changing triumphs, healing every step of the way, strengthening your future with advanced imaging and labs for precise answers, and compassionate care every step of the way, because every moment of health matters. Hutchinson Regional Medical Center, caring for every chapter of your life.
Kansas, trust the power of blue for your CanCare plan. Families trust Healthy Blue for doctor visits and prescriptions. New and expecting moms trust Healthy Blue for pregnancy support. And Healthy Blue provides extra benefits for your whole family. Choose the brand Kansans have trusted for more than 80 years. Visit choosehealthyblue.com/KS for more details. Trust the power of blue.
For over 80 years, Farm Bureau Financial Services has served the unique needs of the ag industry. We get to know you and your operation, providing coverage for your farm, ranch, machinery, crops, livestock, and so much more. Find out why we've been the #1 ag insurer for 25 years. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Call Farm Bureau agent Luke Bauer in McPherson at 620-241-0225.
#1 ag insurer across our territory. 1996 to 2021 SNL PNC Group direct written premium.
Taking the Ad Astra Radio Central Kansas scoreboard here on your Friday night, Hutchinson and Valley Center were scoreless at the end of one. Second quarter, Beeler up on Augusta 14-6. Central Christian in the first quarter was already leading Canton Galva 26-0. Haven up on Nickerson in the second 21-7. After one, Minneapolis led Lyons 7-0. Sterling in the second leading Mount Ridge 20-7. Rural Vista over Little River at the end of one 16-12. Victoria leading Central Plains 16-0 after one. McPherson and Circle were tied at 7 at the end of the first period. Hillsboro in the second leading Lawrence at 28-0. Heston and leading Hoysen 13-7 after the first. Endale up on Wellington 16-8. That also is a first quarter score. Ellsworth leading Republic County 14-0 at the end of one as well. Some other games of note around the region. Abilene and Chapman were scoreless after one. That one of the oldest high school football rivalries in the country. That going on tonight in Chapman. A couple of other rivalry games around the state tonight. It's Goddard and Goddard-Eisenhower in a city title game. In what is pretty much a city title game, St. Mary's Colgan and Frontenac. Colgan has the early lead in that game involving teams that are basically in adjacent towns. So that's going to be how that is working out right now. In the bottom of the sixth inning, the Phillies were leading the Royals 6-1. K-State and Arizona State just getting underway. That is your Ad Astra Radio scoreboard. We'll be back to your game right after this. I'm Lucky Kid.
Hi, I'm Dr. Matthew Perry, and I work with McPherson Dental Care, and we are excited to have 6 locations in our communities in order to serve and take care of your dental needs. McPherson Dental believes whether you are 2 or 92, your teeth are important to your overall health, and we want to make sure we are taking care of you and your loved ones every step of the way. It's our honor to live and work in your communities, and we want to thank you for choosing us and letting us be your hometown dentist.
That's McPherson Dental, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch.
Even trying to enjoy a fun event can be difficult after the loss of a loved one. Unanswered questions, feelings of stress and grief are only natural. As the owner and director of Inman Funeral Home, I bring over 25 years of experience bringing comfort and empathy during time of loss. Rely on me to guide you through all aspects of planning a funeral service with compassion, dignity, and respect. I'm Athena Johnson with Inman Funeral Home. Find me at inmanfh.com.
Hey Bullpup fans, it's Corey at Midway Motors. We're excited for another great year of Bullpup sports. Midway has been a proud supporter of McPherson schools for over 30 years. There's nothing better than seeing the kids play, learn, and pursue greatness as a team. As a community, let's work together to make it the best experience possible for them. Be positive, always encourage, and let the kids compete. Go get them, pups. Midway Motors, for every mile of life.
I'm Gloria Schrader, a proud McPherson parent and grandparent who believes that teamwork is key to reaching our goals. Working in the claims department at Farmers Alliance, I love seeing our company unite to support our policyholders through tough times. Being a part of a team that helps people rebuild their lives is as awesome as a victory in the big game. At Farmers Alliance, we're excited to be part of this amazing community and thrilled to cheer on all our local teams to success.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome back to Towanda. It's halftime, and Circle leads the McPherson Bullpups 17-14. 24 minutes down, 24 minutes to go. I'm Lane. That's Nathan. Thanks for spending your Friday night with us here for coverage of high school football. You heard Lucky Kid give you some first half numbers that we have through the 24 minutes of play. Individually, Nathan, what do you have down for McPherson, first of all?
Yeah, first, Brody Millicent's leading rusher right now. I've got him. I personally have him right now. Unofficially, it's 78 yards rushing and 1 touchdown. On the receiving side of things, Ashton Malm, I've got 72 yards receiving. Close, again, unofficial.
That ended at about the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. And then McPherson had a pretty good 2-minute drill in just 90 seconds, a 78-yard drive resulting in a 1-yard touchdown run by Brody Milson. It was 14-all, but then Circle turned it around to end the half on a 68-yard drive with a 30-yard field goal to close off that first half. 17-14 is the score. So as we get about 2.5 minutes away from second half kickoff between McPherson and Circle, what are some things that you would like to see out of McPherson in the second half?
I mean, first off, you got to look at the penalties. You got to look at the penalties. The penalties right now have kind of stopped drives in their tracks and have kept drives alive for Circle and the Thunderbird offense. And if the Bullpups, not to steal a line from Nebraska head coach Matt Rule, but if they don't care what the scoreboard says and just put good film on tape, they're going to be in a really, really, really good spot moving forward, and they're probably going to come out of this game victorious. They've kept Circle alive for the most part, especially on a touchdown drive and on the field goal at the end of the half. But for McPherson, I'd like to see them get back to kind of that option offense. Let Carter Bankston make decisions and put the Circle defensive backs in a tough spot. Again, I liked the deep ball to Ashton Malm. I think they need to go back to that a little bit more, and then you got to trust Brody Milson on the ground.
For sure. Well, because we're about a minute and a half away, I think a little bit more from second half kickoff, we'll go ahead and take a timeout. We're back in 60 seconds here from Towanda, live at Circle High School. At halftime, it's Circle 17, McPherson 14. This is Bullpup football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
At Powell, Tom takes the time to make justice accessible for everyone. That's why we offer free consultations day or night, and even on the weekends. Whether you're dealing with a workers' compensation claim, personal injury, or an accident that was no fault of your own, the dedicated team at Powell Law is here to evaluate your case and fight for the compensation you deserve. Don't wait. Call Powell Law today at 620-241-9000 to schedule your free consultation. Because at Powell Law, Tom takes the time to be there when you need him the most.
Need reliable electrical work? Call Headed Electric in McPherson. We are locally family-owned and committed to providing quality electrical services. Give us a call at 620-241-3757 or visit headedelectricinc.com.
The Bradbury Company, headquartered in Mound Ridge, is a family-owned custom equipment builder, and they're hiring qualified candidates for manufacturing roles. Apply online at bradburygroup.com. The Bradbury Company, wishing the best of luck to all the teams.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Penalties were a momentum shifter going into the second half, and the Bullpups need to come out with a big answer and shift the momentum back to the Bullpups side and back McPherson way.
Yeah, because, I mean, there was a 2nd and 26, or 2nd and 31, which then turned out to turn into 2nd and 12 after a face mask penalty or around that mark. And then late in the half, it was 2nd down and long, and they air it out deep, and a pass interference is called to move them closer, which forced a 30-yard field goal, which could have been, hit from a lot deeper. Franklin Acue has a pretty good leg, but, when it comes to the accuracy for longer kicks, that's that could definitely change things, if it was moved back a little bit further. But that 15-yard PI really shifted things around, as it would have been a 45-yard field goal had they even tried it, which makes me think because it was that long, Circle's up by 3.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, hey, you go into halftime, you know what you did wrong to 10.5. You say we're gonna forget about it. We're gonna move on, and we're gonna come out in the second half, and we're just gonna flat out take the lead. We're gonna try to run the football. We're gonna get back behind our offensive line, and then we're gonna try to get the football out to.
By Puhala, he had it in his hands at the 20. He would have had a first down, but instead he drops the rock, and it's 3rd and long coming up for McPherson.
They ran that play earlier in the game on a 4th down where they just try to get Bankston out of the pocket on the move, and Puhala just on an out route or a crossing pattern and just unable to connect. in the second half, and really only 3 or 4 rush attempts. They haven't really had a ton this second half because they haven't had the football a ton.
I mean, I have that on the time of possession about 2.5 minutes. Handoff a Q, finds the near edge, or tries to, but saying no is Jaron Stutzman, but a late flag comes in. Stutzman can't believe it. This may be a horse collar on Stutzman, but we'll double check.
Yeah, Stutzman setting the edge, and just allowed it off tackle a little bit, but tried to make a play on the football, and is going to be called for the horse collar 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, he even signaled to his bench. I'm sure a couple people on the bench are saying, what did he do? Stutzman grabbed his collar and said, yeah, it was horse collar. That was the right call all day. So what that does is it moves it to midfield after the 15-yard penalty. So first down and 10 for Circle after the penalty. 5 wide shotgun for Stobart, 5:41 remaining. 3-step drop, pressure comes, fires low. It is somehow caught across the 45 to the 44. Nolan Piercy tried to break it up, but it was somehow caught for a 5-yard gain. They mark it at the 45, but Stutzman is down and slow getting up.
An excellent pitch and catch there by Stobart to Cosby. Rocky Cosby, we haven't called his name a ton tonight, but good route, good comeback route. Just sat down in the zone. Piercy was just a touch late and was able to make the reception. Was Cosby for the 5-yard gain.
Well, Stutzman, I guess, was having some cramping problems. He got helped up, but then kind of went back down. But Stutzman will try to get off the field under his own power. Well, no, he's actually kind of getting a little gimpy all the way to the sideline, and we hope he's okay. This injury timeout brought to you by Pile Law. If you've been injured at work or in a motor vehicle accident, call Pile Law 241-9000. Tom works to give you the benefits you deserve. Stutzman sitting down, sharing a couple of laps with the managers and teammates. Possibly looks to be okay. I think they actually got a little snack for him because it could be for cramping. I'm not sure. I think it's mustard.
Is
that mustard?
It should be good.
Yeah.
For cramps.
For sure. Well, second down and 5 for Circle, going from left to right, a man in motion and 4 wide receivers. They're going to do a shot play, and it will be knocked away and incomplete. Trying to come back on it was Dane Becker. Didn't have the angle to try to pick it off, but he got a hand on it at least and knocked it clean to make it 3rd down and 5. Him down, Chase Lowry to make it 4th down and 3 coming up for Circle with the clock running.
That's a fantastic play, Lane. That was really, really good football by Chase Lowry to come up from his Mike linebacker position and make a tackle. Good fundamental tackle and make this a 4th down play. 4th down at about 3 yards.
We'll see what they do. They'll try to go for it on 4th down. Obviously, they pretty much need to, but this could be a wildcat formation as the players that are behind the line of scrimmage are the running backs. Franklin Acue will take the snap and fake the handoff. He'll run to the right, tripped up from behind, and down he goes. Just short a yard, and that will bring it back the other direction. It'll be 1st and 10 McPherson.
That will go down right now, Lane, as one of the best plays that we've seen all season. I know it's just two games in, but that right there, maybe you might want to star that play right there because that might be the play of the game.
Carter Leathers was the guy coming to the sideline celebrating, but so was everybody in a white jersey. 1st and 10 McPherson at their own 41-yard line after getting it on downs with 4:22 to go.
Now all you have to do as an offense, again, take the same drive you had last time and try to replicate it. I know that is way easier said than done, but give it to your trust your running back, Dane Becker, trust Brody Millicent as his counterpart at running back as well, and even might as well give it to the quarterback too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they will hand it off out of the backfield. It is Becker cutting to the near side, gets off of one man, down the sideline at the 45, waiting on blockers. He's just going to go down on his own and let the clock run after a long gain to the 41-yard line.
About 18 yards on the play there, Lane, and just another chunk play for Dane Becker as he's come on in this second half. I mean, he only had 6 carries in the first half and is now at 17 carries.
Wow. 1st down and 10 at the Circle 43-yard line. And what a tale of two halves it's been for McPherson after struggling defensively in the first half. What a turnaround in half number 2. And that's been the biggest story. In the pistol, 2 lined up far side, 1 near. They will hand it off. Becker lowers the shoulder, goes near side, up the middle to the 36. He won't go much further, though, but that's still a gain of about 6 yards on 1st and 10.
Lane, you have no one can explain just how important it is right now for this Bullpups team and how good this is for the Bullpups team. Circle's putting 8 guys in the box, 9 guys in the box. They are trying to stop the run as best as possible, and they just can't. They simply cannot, because this Bullpup and Brody Millicent and Dane Becker have the vision and the burst to just make men miss, especially when they over-pursue.
1st down and 10, McPherson at the Circle 28, 2:40 remaining, play clock at 15. They now get set, but they're, of course, going to waste as much clock as they can. Millicent in the backfield as the tailback in the pistol. 2 wide to the right, 1 to the left, and we'll have a whistle. And quite a ways late, Circle's going to call their final time out of the half. There were 4 seconds left in the half, or in the play clock, I should say. 2:28 to go, and Circle uses their last timeout.
Again, I think they had to take that timeout. I just don't know if their defensive line, their linebackers, and really this entire defense was good enough for that play and just needed a quick breather.
We'll go ahead and give you some score updates, which are brought to you by McPherson Dental Care and the Arc Valley Chisholm Trail League Division III. Bueller defeated Augusta 37-12. And then also elsewhere in our Ad Astra family of networks, Sterling defeated Mound Ridge 27-15. Victoria defeated Central Plains 22-20. That's a pretty decent upset in 8-man over there. Locally, let's see what else we can also get. Sedgwick facing Trinity Catholic. Trinity Catholic's up 23-8 after 3 quarters. So those scoreboard updates brought to you by McPherson Dental Care, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch. Circle burned their last time out. That's why we had a stoppage in play. McPherson has 1st down and 10 at the Circle 23-yard line. 2:28 remaining in the ball game. McPherson 27, Circle 17. McPherson has outscored Circle in this half 13-0. They will hand it off to Millicent up the middle, cutting to the left side, and he might be gone at the 10, the 5. What a day for Brody Millicent. Tack it off with a touchdown. Touchdown, McPherson. Late flags come in, pushing and shoving away from the play. But McPherson pouring it on again. Brody Millicent with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
Lane, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a 24-yard touchdown.
Yep.
Again, we went back to it. You just, this offensive line, this left side right now is just expressing their will and just putting it on this defensive line. And I think frustration's just boiled over there. But all this will be after the play.
Yep.
But man, what a job by these two running backs. But again, I know I keep saying it, but it's got to be talked about. This offensive line is just doing their will and just moving men up front.
33-17 the score. Again, this will be after the play. The officials, the 5-man crew are all coming together to kind of sort this out. But a 24-yard touchdown run for Brody Millicent. Everybody kind of putting their hands on their hips, trying to figure out, what went wrong. But yeah, you mentioned it, maybe just some, a little bit of frustration. Hey, Friday Night Lights, it can bring out a lot.
Lane, I don't know if that number is right.
199 for Brody Millicent.
Unofficial.
Wow.
That's what I just have tallied up.
That is incredible. Incredible.
On just 17 carries.
That's incredible. Well, again, we're still waiting on the official ruling, and hopefully we don't have any ejections in the matter. Touchdown counts.
Lane, I would just say that's a fantastic play.
So they just say personal fouls on both teams and they offset. They didn't say exactly who, but I'm sure the coaches will know.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah, again, I just think frustration's boiled over. It happens. These kids are 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. It'll happen.
Yeah. And now there has been a point of emphasis. Obviously, it's way different on that. There was a lot of shoving afterwards. There was some frustration boiling over. But there has been sort of a change in how officials will think about unsportsmanlike conduct or personal fouls, they may lax off a little bit because they want to make sure nothing's too technical, because the NFHS said, yeah, they know that these are kids and emotions may boil over after a play. But here on the PAT, good snap, good hold, and the kick is good to make it 34-17. But continuing off of that point, obviously if there's something going on way after a play, there's something going on way after a play. But they're saying, try not to be too technical. If there's something going on after a play, just a couple of, talking words or something like that, as long as it's not directed at anybody specifically, just let them know, hey, you do it again, I'm going to flag you.
Yeah, not to take a trademark from Major League Baseball, but they're saying let the kids play.
Exactly.
Let the kids play. Lane, I want to talk about this for just a second here on that extra point. That's a key extra point. That shows you how good of a kicker Jackson Hoover was. Just by this angle, it looked like the seams were facing right at him, and that's never a good sign when you're trying to kick the football.
Laces were not out.
Laces were not out, and that is just less than ideal, because that football can come off the foot any direction because it's just a touch softer on that side, and it compresses the ball a little bit more, and you never know where the ball could end up. But an excellent job of just fighting through that and kicking a pretty good ball for the extra point.
Absolutely. We're going to keep it here for the ensuing kickoff. 2:22 remaining. McPherson 34, Circle 17.
And that right there is your daily special teams segment.
Now, here's the thing. I saw a weird pattern, which I'll probably get to after the game, because if I talk about it and something changes, then it might jinx it. I'll talk about it after the game, but there's a weird pattern going on, and if the score stays put, that pattern would happen again. So, Jackson Hoover to boot the ensuing kickoff. It'll go side over side, and were the laces in that time? Because that went out of bounds by a mile.
I don't know. I hope not. I hope he didn't set it up with laces in.
Aaron Winter came off of the sideline and was about onto lane 5 of the track, rising high trying to catch it. He didn't. It got out of his hands, but that one was way wide. And obviously we poke a little fun because, he's had one heck of a day, and so have the Bullpups. So
I would actually say, Lane, this is actually helpful for the Bullpups that this is a penalty and they don't mark it off as like a punt.
Correct.
Where it just goes out of bounds. Now it's just right at the 35-yard line. I want to say that football went out at like the 40.
It probably did. Well, first down, 2:22 to go for Circle, down by 17, and they're out of timeout. Stobart will take the snap, hand it off to Q, stops, goes left side, but only gets a yard at most. And that's again the front line holding true once again. Dylan Hall, one of the first guys there to get just a gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
And with the run play, the clock continues to run. There's no timeouts. Circle is essentially conceding that this game is over.
Here's a 3-step drop. He's going to look to fire it deep. 1-on-1. Winter backing in, and he knocks it away, incomplete. They did kind of have to slow down a little bit because was a little underthrown. Both Winter and the receiver, Bodie Jansen, had to come back on it, but Winter knocked it away, and that makes it 3rd down and about 9 yards.
I will say, Lane, about Mason Stobart, he's got an absolute cannon of an arm, but the one thing on his deep balls that he just doesn't do well is step up and set his feet. There wasn't a ton of pressure there. He could have set his feet a little bit better and gotten some air under that football, but that time he just underthrew him and let Aaron Winter have a play on the football.
So on the one rush by a Q, they said no gain, so it's actually 3rd and 10, and they're going to hand it off on the near side. Down he goes in the backfield. What a job. Aaron Winter brings him down, and that's a loss of a couple. 4th and long coming up with 1:40 and ticking.
There it is. 4th down and long. This will keep the drive alive with 1.5 minutes to go, but I just don't foresee. I'm actually kind of surprised Circle's not punting this football, honestly.
Well, I mean, heck, they're down 17. You got to give any sort of chance you can give yourself, because weird things do happen, but but still, and also keep the offense on the field. 4th down and about 11 yards. Here comes pressure. Hit as he throws, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Nolan Piercy down the sideline at the 20 and pushed out of bounds at the 15. A flag comes in before going out of bounds, but the first defensive takeaway of the season for the Bullpups. It's an interception by Nolan Piercy.
that's a long time coming. They were due for one. I mean, they dropped 3 at Great Bend. They've dropped a couple here today. They've broken up a few and been in good spots. That time, Nolan Piercy in the right spot. He's been in the right spot, in my opinion, all day long. Obviously, I'll let the coaches watch the film and really figure that out for themselves. But that was an excellent job by Nolan Piercy reading the football. They brought a Will linebacker blitz off the backside with Matt Berger. Berger got home and rushed the throw a little bit. That's just an all-around excellent job, excellent call on defense.
They called a holding on the return on McPherson, but it matters not because it was after the interception. So it's first down for McPherson, and they could just take 2 knees and call it a day with 1:01 to go.
And here's my gripe with high school football, and this is gonna get me started. These 2 knees that they're about to take are going to take away from Bankston's yards gained. And that bothers me.
Fair.
I think he should run up and just lose a yard, but that would be unsportsmanlike in my opinion.
I mean, I don't think he cares. He more just cares that he got the win here today. Everybody except for Bankston lined up, and he'll take a knee. And also a tailback, he'll take the knee at the 42. The way the victory formation works for McPherson, they line the quarterback about 5 yards back, but it's to make sure everybody, stays safe. But the Bullpup fans on this visitor side as we're on, coming up to celebrating the first win of the season for the Bullpups, and they'll start off 1-0 in league play.
And again, like we talked about, Lane, that's a gritty win. It's a nice come-from-behind win, going down at half and only down by 3, but just having the plays that ended that half and the momentum shift all the way back over to the circle side, coming out in the second half and just putting it on a team. That's what you like to see.
Carter Bankson takes a knee, and that's going to do it. The Bullpups and the Thunderbirds will line up at midfield, but the Bullpups will celebrate. They said all week long, there have been guys going around saying, I'm tired of being 0-1. I'm tired of being 0-1. They're not 0-1 anymore. They're 1-1. They got the victory over the Thunderbirds. Final score, McPherson 34, Circle 17. We'll be back after this for the Bullpup Locker Room Show. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
You're listening to the Great Plains Federal Credit Union Halftime Report. Tonight's second half kickoff is coming up next. Stream Bullpup football on your phone or tablet with the Ad Astra radio app. Your home for the McPherson Bullpups is 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Controlling your own weather can be easier than controlling anything else these days. This is Julie with RC Heating and Cooling. With a well-working cooling and heating system, you can be in control of your indoor weather at home. With so many things out of our hands, it's a good feeling to have a bit of stability. Call RC for a free estimate on new cooling and heating equipment. Call RC when your unit isn't up to par. Call RC to stay comfortable in any weather. Call RC 241-2787.
If you can't remember the last time you've reviewed your insurance, you're not alone. Alliance Agency Inc. and Buckeye Insurance Group work together to make sure you are properly covered. Call the friendly, knowledgeable staff at Alliance Agency Inc. at 620-241-0213. They'll provide service that exceeds expectations and coverage that meets your needs. Buckeye Insurance Group and Alliance Agency Inc. working together to protect you.
When you bank with Great Plains Federal Credit Union, you're more than a customer. You're a member and an owner. That means fewer fees, better rates, and real people who care about you and your financial goals. Stop by one of our convenient locations in McPherson, Salina, Abilene, or Hillsborough and experience the credit union difference today. Great Plains Federal Credit Union in McPherson, member NCUA.
Hi, I'm Andrew Ealing. I'm excited to tell you about the Poo Squad of Hutchinson. Are you tired of the unpleasant task of picking up dog poop? I can help. We offer a one-time or weekly service for your convenience. Our pricing is affordable and varies based on the number of dogs. For one dog per week, it's only $12 or $52 a month. You can easily book online at hutch.thepoosquad.com or call or text at 620-322-0522. We take a lot of crap from our customers. Contact the Poo Squad of Hutchinson today.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome to the Bullpup Locker Room Show. The Bullpups are celebrating a victory. They win by a final score of 34-7 over the Circle Thunderbirds here today. I can go ahead and say, because I mentioned it earlier in the in this fourth quarter, the pattern did stick, and here's what that pattern was. For the third year in a row, McPherson doubled Circle's score. 2 years ago, I think it was 26-13. Last year, 28-14. This year, 34-17 was the final score. It's a weird pattern. Sports are weird, man. You work in baseball, so baseball
weird.
could be the weirdest of the bunch.
It can be, but I will say the fact that you have done this, you have figured out that 3 years in a row, obviously it's not that hard to do. That's preparation right there, and for you to notice that right there, quick math preparation, good on you, sir.
Well, I appreciate that.
That's fantastic.
I'm also good at spotting weird things. So
that's fantastic. Tell me more.
That's about all I can tell you. But just regarding this game, it was McPherson trailed at halftime 17-14, and they outscored Circle 20-0 in the second half. But how about this? This is the unofficial yardage that I have, and in my offensive yardage I factor in basically the total yards in a drive, so that includes penalties, just about anything. So McPherson was getting outgained in the first half, 258-174. In the second half, McPherson outgained Circle 279-29. That is a total yardage for McPherson of 453, Circle 287. But how about this? Time of possession in the second half, it's a 24-minute half, 18 minutes and 12 seconds. How about that second half for McPherson, laying it all on the line,